Have you ever felt like you're constantly learning, planning, and dreaming, but somehow you're still stuck in that same place? Well, here's the thing. Your problem isn't a lack of information, it's that we're not acting on the information that we already have. Just let that sink in for a moment. How many times have we heard the message, just start, just post the content, just do it, just start? And that advice is 100% spot on. Right now, the world is full of thinkers and dreamers and planners, but the people who are making the real progress, the people who are getting the actual success, they are the doers. So, my question to you is, which one are you? Are you a thinker or are you a doer? Most people think that success is about the right strategy or the right hack or finding that one video that's going to give you the advice that just changes your life. But you know what? It's not really about the input and the messages that we are receiving. It's about better output. And better output comes from taking action. Focused, consistent, and intentional action. The advice, like I mentioned before, just start, just post the content. It is spot on advice, and we 100% need to be taking it. How many times have we spent hours researching other content creators and, researching habits to how to be a successful XYZ, or, how to do this project or how to start that goal, only to never really start anything. We tell ourselves that we need to be ready and polished and perfect, or we have to find the best way. But all that does is delay the inevitable. We're never going to feel ready. We're never going to feel ready. The only way to build momentum is to start, even when it's messy. And a practical way that I cut through all that noise is every 90 days, I am auditing my task and my responsibilities, and I'm asking myself, what can I remove? What can I automate? And what can I delegate? And I apply that to my personal and my professional life. There are going to be times where we have low value, pointless tasks, and those just keep adding up, right? They just continue to stack and they'll continue to grow if we don't pay attention. We can find ourselves being busy and not making any real progress, not really getting anything done, just being busy for the sake of doing things. As a marketing manager, I find myself constantly juggling multiple things, marketing campaigns and writing email copy and overseeing analytics after the campaigns are done and responding to emails and scheduling meetings. And in the past, I have found myself working 10 to 12-hour days. And I just can't do that, y'all. I got a family. It really became clear to me that I need to make a change. I need to do something here. I'm always in reactive mode and I don't like it. I'm always just taking the hits. I don't have time to strategize and plan and make things, grand like I like to do. So I started assigning things, delegating to different people. The marketing coordinator can handle the copy. The data analytics team can handle the dashboards, and I can just get my results from what they have already prepared for me. I was getting distracted by notification after notification and interruptions, so I started to set focus time on my calendar. Now, this is personal and professional. Instead of allowing myself to get constantly bombarded by Teams chats and emails, I started to book time to intentionally do and work on certain things at home instead of being interrupted by phone calls and messages and different things. I will block a time and I will say, hey, in this hour, I am going to put in one load of laundry, clean one bathroom, and put away those dishes. And I'm not going to stop until those things are completed. At work, I mentioned blocking off my calendar at work. I started to reviewing all my recurring meetings. Can this really be an email? Does this really need to be a meeting? Does the meeting really need to be 1 hour? In some instances, the answer is no. Some calls I can switch from weekly to bi weekly. The meetings that are necessary, I can set a clear agenda so that we stick to it and hit all the points without leaving feeling like I didn't get all of my questions answered. For some things that didn't even require meetings, maybe I can just update my project planner. And if someone has a question, direct them there instead of having all those lengthy Teams calls. And as a result, what happened? I now have time for more strategic thinking. This year alone, the ROI on my top campaign of the year was up 15%. I had time to focus. Delegating tasks not only helps me, but it empowers the people on my team to take ownership, right? I was able to have better work-life balance, be there and be present for my family when I was at home. No more 10 to 12-hour days. Now I'm back at 8 hours, and it's sufficient for me and sufficient for my mental health. And it hasn't just made me more productive, it has set a tone for my entire team. When Alex is busy strategizing, that's what she's doing, and she will respond in a timely manner. It just might not be during my focus time, okay? The point is, I have time now to focus on what actually matters. And trust me, those little changes, they add up fast and they do amount to something. Whatever you are willing to accept is going to become your reality. If you are going to tolerate chaos and distractions and dysfunction and excuses in your habits, then that is what you are going to have to live with. But if you set standards that make you proud, you will rise to the occasion. You will rise to meet your own standards. And this isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about building and creating the life that we actually want. Are our current habits and our current beliefs and our current, ways of thinking and systems that we've put in place, are they going to get us there? If they're not going to get us there, then something desperately needs to change. I think where most people go wrong is thinking that the real work is the flashy stuff, right? The promotions, the new car, checking goals off your list, the goals that you have, and you put them on your wall and you're checking the box so people can see that you've hit those goals. No, it's not about the big wins. The real work is quiet. It is the quiet, unglamorous, behind the scenes grind that we are doing each and every day, the habits that we're building, the processes that we're implementing, the beliefs that we're reinforcing in our lives. And yes, the boring repetition, fundamentals over and over and over again. Okay, but those boring repetitions, that's what creates transformation. Resistance is a good sign. When you feel that resistance building up in yourself, that I don't really want to, lean into that. That resistance is your old self just trying to stop the change that you want to make and that you need to make. If change is what you want, then you are going to have to lean into that resistance instead of avoiding it. If you want to be a doer, and I want to be a doer, if you want to be a doer, here are 3 simple strategies. It's very simple, that can help you get there. And you can start working on some of these strategies today. The first one is block the day. Schedule every hour of your life, if you can, with purpose. 60 to 90-minute sprints, no multitasking, no winging it. Planned sprints. Block that calendar. The second one is setting hard deadlines. I know for me, I like to get caught up. The look and feel, all those good things. What colors am I using? What's the font going to be? And that's fine. But have a hard deadline for the planning of those things. If you don't have a hard deadline, your task will go on forever. But when you set those hard stops, you will be surprised at how efficient you can become. The third one is start small, but start now. Success does not come from these giant leaps, right? It comes from taking small steps every single day towards the goal. Start now. The work you are doing today is not going to show up tomorrow. It's not going to show up next week. It's going to show up 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line. And trust me, you're going to thank yourself that you started when you did. Your future self is thanking you for starting today. Change the way you look at the world, right? Change the lens that you view the world through. The life you want isn't something that you're just going to, oops, I stumbled on it. Hey, life. You're not just going to stumble upon the life that you want. You are only going to get there if you create it by taking action, setting higher standards for yourself, and sticking to the work. It's no way we get there, you guys, if we do not do the work. Stop thinking, stop planning, stop dreaming, and just start doing. I'll see you guys in the next video.